My beloved child, I know the place where you are standing right now, the place where options feel unclear, where decisions feel heavy, and where every path ahead seems uncertain. And I want you to listen to me gently now, because you are not lost, even if you feel unsure. I see how confusion has settled in your heart, how questions circle your thoughts, and how the pressure to choose correctly has made you afraid of taking the wrong step. And I understand how exhausting that feels. Not knowing what to do next can make you feel stuck, vulnerable, and alone. Yet I am speaking to you now to remind you of something steady and true. Because you do not need to see the whole road to walk safely, you only need to follow me. I know how much you want clarity, how you wish for a clear sign, a definite answer, or a moment where everything suddenly makes sense. And I understand why waiting for direction feels uncomfortable. My child, uncertainty makes you feel exposed, because you want to move forward without regret, without mistakes, and without fear of loss. Yet hear me clearly now, because clarity does not always come before obedience, and direction does not always arrive as a full map. Often, guidance unfolds one step at a time, and each step becomes clear only after you choose to trust me with the one in front of you. You are not failing because you feel unsure. You are simply standing at a place where trust matters more than certainty. I see how fear has crept into your decision-making, whispering that one wrong choice could ruin everything. And I understand why that fear feels convincing when the stakes feel high. But listen to me now, because your life is not as fragile as fear makes it seem. My child, I am not limited by your imperfect decisions, and I am not dependent on you choosing flawlessly to accomplish my purposes. I can guide you even through detours, and I can bring good from paths that feel uncertain, because I walk with you, not just ahead of you. You are not navigating this alone, and you are not responsible for securing every outcome. I know how you replay conversations, weigh possibilities, and imagine different futures, trying to determine the safest or smartest move. And I understand how tiring that mental cycle has been. My child, you are not created to carry the burden of constant analysis, because overthinking drains peace without producing wisdom. Wisdom grows when you remain close to me, when you listen more than you rush, and when you choose trust over fear. You do not need to solve your entire future today, and you do not need to make decisions from panic, because I am patient, and I will not rush you into harm. I see how comparison has made this season harder, how watching others move forward has made you question whether you are behind, and I understand how that quiet pressure deepens your confusion. Yet hear me now, because your journey is not measured against anyone else's timeline. My child, you are not late, you are not failing, and you are not forgotten, because I am attentive to your life and intentional with your timing. What looks like delay to you may be alignment, and what feels like standing still may be preparation. You do not need to keep pace with others to be walking faithfully with me. I know you are afraid of making a choice that you cannot undo, afraid of closing doors that might matter later. And I understand why commitment feels risky when clarity is incomplete. Yet listen to me gently now, because following me does not mean every step is permanent, and it does not mean every decision locks you into one future forever. My child, I am able to redirect you, correct you, and guide you gently if you wander, because my care does not disappear when you move forward imperfectly. You are not expected to predict the future. You are invited to trust the one who already sees it. I see how waiting has worn you down, how being in between has drained your energy, and how not knowing what comes next has made you question yourself. My child, this in-between place is not a mistake, and it is not wasted time, because it is here that you learn to listen more deeply, to depend more fully, and to release the illusion of control. You are not stuck because you lack direction. You are being invited to follow rather than to lead, and following brings peace even when the path is unclear. I know how you want reassurance that following me will lead somewhere good, somewhere meaningful, somewhere safe, and I want you to hear me clearly now, because I am trustworthy. My child, I do not lead you aimlessly, and I do not guide you without care. Even when you do not understand where I am taking you, you can trust who is taking you there. You are not required to understand every step to take it, and you are not required to feel confident to be guided, because confidence grows as you walk, not before you begin. I see how your heart longs for direction, not just externally but internally, a sense of peace that tells you that you are moving rightly, and I understand how heavy it feels to move without that reassurance. Yet hear me now, because peace is not always found in answers, it is found in relationship. My child, when you stay close to me, listen for my voice, and choose trust over fear, peace will meet you even in uncertainty. You are not being asked to figure everything out, You are being invited to follow, step by step, moment by moment, with me beside you. So come now, even with your questions, even with your hesitation, even with your fear, and follow me. You do not need to know what comes next to take the next step, and you do not need to see the destination to trust the journey. My beloved child, I am near, I am guiding you, and I will not let you walk alone. Follow me here, my beloved child. I know how heavy decisions feel when you do not know what lies ahead, how every option seems to carry weight, consequence, and uncertainty. And I want you to listen to me gently now, because you were never meant to carry the weight of choice alone. I see how your heart tightens when you think about choosing wrongly, how fear makes every option feel dangerous, and how pressure whispers that one decision could define everything. And I understand how paralyzing that feels. Yet hear me clearly now, because following me does not mean you must choose perfectly. It means you do not choose alone. When you walk with me, even uncertain steps are held by grace, and grace has a way of steadying what feels fragile. I know how you want guarantees, how you long for assurance that a choice will not hurt you, disappoint others, or lead to regret. And I understand why certainty feels like safety. My child, certainty feels comforting, but it is not the foundation of peace, because peace grows from trust, not from control. You do not need to know every outcome to make a faithful step, and you do not need to see the whole path to walk it with me. Often, clarity follows obedience rather than preceding it, and wisdom unfolds as you move, not while you remain frozen by fear. I see how you replay scenarios, imagine consequences, and try to calculate the safest path forward, and I know how exhausting that cycle has been. My child, overthinking is not the same as discernment. An analysis driven by fear clouds wisdom rather than clarifying it. Discernment grows when you remain close to me, when you listen with your heart as well as your mind, and when you allow peace to guide you more than anxiety. You do not need to force certainty, because forcing only tightens fear's grip. Walk with me and allow direction to emerge gently. I know how responsibility makes choices feel heavier, especially when others are affected by what you decide, and I understand why you feel the pressure to get it right. Yet hear me now, because responsibility does not mean carrying the future alone. My child, I am present in the lives of those you love as well, and I am working beyond what you can manage. You are not the sole guardian of outcomes, and you are not expected to foresee every ripple effect of your decisions. When you trust me, you allow space for my wisdom to move where yours cannot reach. I see how fear tells you that if you choose and fail, you will be alone in the consequences. And I want you to hear me clearly now, because I do not abandon you when things are hard. My child, following me does not guarantee a life without difficulty, but it does guarantee a life with my presence, and presence changes how difficulty is carried. Even when choices lead through challenge, you will not walk unsupported, and you will not be left to navigate regret by yourself. I am with you in every step, whether it feels successful or uncertain. I know how comparison has added weight to your choices, how watching others move decisively has made you question your own pace, and I understand how that pressure steals peace. My child, your pace is not wrong and your carefulness is not failure. You are learning to listen, to wait, and to trust, and these qualities matter deeply. You are not required to rush because others have moved ahead, and you are not behind because your path looks different. Walk with me at the pace that keeps your heart open rather than hurried, because hurried steps often miss what matters most. I see how you hesitate because you fear closing doors, afraid that choosing one path means losing another forever. And I want you to hear me now, because I am not limited by closed doors. My child, I can open new paths where you do not expect them, and I can bring life from places you thought were finished. You are not trapping yourself by choosing, and you are not ruining your future by stepping forward imperfectly. When you walk with me, even missed turns can become meaningful, because I am skilled at redemption. I know how this season has made you doubt your ability to discern, to trust your instincts, to hear my voice, and I understand how discouraging that feels. Yet hear me clearly now, because hearing me is not about flawless clarity, it is about relationship. My child, you recognize my voice over time by staying close, by listening gently, and by noticing peace rather than pressure. You do not need to be certain to be guided. You need to be willing to walk, to pause, and to listen along the way. I see how staying in uncertainty has drained you, how standing still feels safer than risking a wrong move. And I want you to hear me now, because staying still out of fear keeps you from experiencing the guidance you seek. My child, you do not need to leap ahead, but you are invited to take the next small step that feels aligned with trust rather than fear. Following me rarely requires dramatic moves. It usually begins with simple obedience, small choices, and gentle trust that grows stronger as you walk. So walk with me now, even if your steps feel tentative, even if clarity feels partial, even if fear still whispers, because you are not walking alone. Let me carry the weight of outcomes, while you carry only the step in front of you. My beloved child, when choices feel heavy, do not freeze in fear, walk with me, and allow my presence to guide you one faithful step at a time. My beloved child, I know the fear that tightens your chest when you think about choosing wrong. The quiet panic that asks, what if this decision leads you away from what you hoped for? What if you regret it? What if you disappoint yourself or others? And I want you to listen to me gently now, because fear has made your choices feel heavier than they were ever meant to be. I see how carefully you step, how you hesitate before moving, and how uncertainty has made you doubt your own ability to discern. And I understand how exhausting that has been. Yet I am speaking to you now to remind you of something steady and true, because your life is not as fragile as fear suggests, and you are not navigating this path without guidance. I know how much pressure you feel to get it right, how you believe one wrong decision could undo everything, and I understand why that belief keeps you frozen. But hear me clearly now, my child, because I am not waiting for you to choose perfectly before I help you, and I am not withdrawing my care when your steps are uncertain. I walk with you, not behind you judging, and not ahead of you unreachable, but beside you, attentive and present. You are not required to carry the burden of flawless decision-making, because guidance comes from relationship, not from perfection. I see how fear has convinced you that hesitation is wisdom, that waiting indefinitely is safer than risking a wrong step, and I understand why that feels protective. Yet hear me now, because fear disguised as caution still limits you. My child, wisdom does not paralyze, it gently leads. Staying still out of fear prevents you from experiencing the guidance you seek, because guidance unfolds as you walk, not while you remain frozen. You do not need to rush, but you are invited to move with me, trusting that I will steady you if you stumble and redirect you if needed. I know how you replay past mistakes, using them as evidence that you cannot be trusted with decisions, and I understand how regret has shaped your confidence. Yet I want you to hear me clearly now, because your past does not disqualify you from being guided now. My child, I have walked with you through mistakes before, and I have brought good from places you thought were failures. You are not defined by decisions that did not turn out as expected, and you are not unworthy of guidance because you once chose imperfectly. I am skilled at redemption, and nothing in your story is beyond my care. I see how you long for certainty, for a sign that removes all doubt, and I understand why clarity feels like safety. Yet hear me now, because certainty is not always how I lead. My child, I often guide through peace rather than proof, through quiet assurance rather than dramatic signs. Learning to recognize peace takes time, patience, and closeness with me, and you are learning that now. You do not need complete confidence to take the next step. You only need enough trust to follow me one step at a time. I know how fear has made you question your ability to hear my voice, to know what is right, to sense direction, and I understand how unsettling that feels. Yet hear me clearly now, because hearing me is not a test you fail or pass. It is a relationship you grow into. My child, you recognize my voice more clearly as you stay close, as you listen gently, and as you choose trust over panic. Even when you are unsure, your willingness to seek me matters deeply, and that willingness keeps you connected to guidance. I see how you worry about disappointing others with your choices, how expectations weigh on you, and how fear of letting someone down complicates your decisions. Yet I want you to hear me now, because following me sometimes means choosing differently than others expect. My child, you are not responsible for managing everyone's reactions, and you are not required to live according to pressure rather than peace. When you follow me, you may feel misunderstood at times, but you will not be misled. I will give you courage to walk the path that aligns with truth, even when it feels lonely. I know how fear makes you want to delay, to wait until you feel fully ready, fully confident, fully assured, and I understand that desire. Yet hear me now, because readiness often comes through movement, not before it. My child, you grow stronger as you walk, not while you remain in place. Each step taken in trust builds clarity, resilience, and confidence, and staying close to me ensures that even uncertain steps are not wasted. You do not need to wait for fear to disappear to move forward, because fear often fades as trust grows. I see how much you want reassurance that you are not alone in this process, and I want you to hear me clearly now, because you are not. My child, I am guiding you gently, even when you cannot see it clearly, and I am attentive to every step you take. You are not walking into the unknown by yourself. You are walking with me, and that makes all the difference. Even when you feel unsure, even when fear whispers, my presence remains steady. So trust my guidance now, even if your confidence feels small, even if fear still lingers, even if clarity feels partial. You do not need to choose perfectly, you only need to choose with me. My beloved child, follow me here, step by step, and allow trust to replace fear as you walk. My beloved child, I know how much you want a sign, something clear and undeniable that removes all doubt, something that tells you without question which way to go, and I understand why waiting for certainty feels safer than stepping forward in trust. I see how you scan your circumstances, your feelings, and even the smallest details, hoping one of them will speak loudly enough to guide you. And I want you to listen to me gently now, because guidance does not always come through signs, it often comes through relationship. You are not failing because you have not seen something dramatic, and you are not lost because clarity feels subtle, because learning to trust my voice is a deeper kind of guidance than learning to read signs. I know how waiting for a sign can keep you still, how it postpones movement while you hope for confirmation that removes risk, and I understand why that feels wise. Yet hear me clearly now, because waiting for certainty can quietly become a way of avoiding trust. My child, I do not withhold signs to confuse you, and I do not remain silent to test your endurance, because my desire is not to leave you uncertain, but to draw you closer. Often I guide not by overwhelming clarity, but by gentle direction that requires attentiveness, patience, and trust. You are learning how to listen, not just how to look. I see how you wish my guidance would feel louder, clearer, and more urgent, and I understand why subtlety feels frustrating when decisions matter deeply. Yet hear me now, because my voice is often quiet on purpose. My child, loud direction can be followed without relationship, but quiet guidance requires closeness, and closeness is what transforms you. When you learn to listen for peace rather than pressure, for steadiness rather than urgency, you begin to recognize how I lead you personally. You do not need dramatic signs to be guided. You need openness, patience, and willingness to walk with me. I know how confusing it feels when emotions shift, when confidence rises and falls, and when you wonder whether what you feel is guidance or fear, and I understand why you hesitate. Yet I want you to hear me clearly now, because my voice does not compete with anxiety, it brings calm. My child, fear rushes, pressures, and demands immediate answers, but my guidance settles, steadies, and invites reflection. Learning to notice this difference takes time, and you are learning it now. Do not condemn yourself for confusion, because discernment grows through practice, not instant mastery. I see how you sometimes question whether you can trust what you sense, whether peace is real or imagined, and I understand how fragile confidence feels when outcomes are unknown. Yet hear me now, because trust is not built by eliminating all doubt. It is built by choosing relationship despite it. My child, you do not need to feel perfectly certain to take a faithful step. You only need to move in a direction that aligns with trust rather than fear. I am able to redirect you gently if needed, and I am patient with your learning, because my care does not depend on your perfection. I know how you long for reassurance that you are hearing me correctly, and I understand why you want confirmation before moving. Yet listen to me now, because reassurance often comes after obedience, not before it. My child, clarity grows as you walk, as you remain attentive, and as you stay open to my leading. You are not required to have everything resolved before taking the next step, because I will walk with you into clarity rather than waiting for you to achieve it alone. I see how fear has made you cautious, how it encourages you to wait until you feel absolutely ready, and I understand that instinct. Yet hear me now, because readiness is not the absence of fear, it is the presence of trust. My child, you are ready to follow me when you are willing to stay close, listen gently, and move without forcing certainty. You are not being reckless when you trust me. You are responding to relationship, and relationship is the safest place to move from. I know how much you want direction that removes all responsibility, something that guarantees you will not regret your choice, and I understand why regret feels frightening. Yet hear me now, because following me does not remove responsibility, it reshapes it. My child, you are not responsible for outcomes beyond your control, and you are not alone in carrying the weight of your choices. When you follow me, even imperfectly, I walk with you through the results, teaching, refining, and supporting you along the way. You do not walk into consequences alone because I am present in every step. I see how waiting for a sign has made you feel passive, as though you are stuck until something happens to you. And I want you to hear me now, because following me is active, not passive. My child, listening is an action, trusting is an action, and taking a small step forward is an action, even when clarity feels partial. You are not meant to wait indefinitely for something dramatic. You are invited to walk attentively, noticing peace, alignment, and direction as they unfold. So learn to trust my voice now, even if it feels quiet, even if it feels subtle, even if it asks you to move without complete certainty. My beloved child, I am speaking to you through peace, through alignment, and through the steady pull toward trust rather than fear. Stay close to me, listen gently, and walk forward without rushing or forcing, because you are being guided more than you realize. My beloved child, I see the moment when hesitation softens into willingness, when fear loosens its grip just enough for you to move. And I want you to listen to me gently now, because the first step does not require certainty, it requires trust. I know how long you have stood at the edge of decision, how heavy the weight of what if has been, and how carefully you have guarded your heart from regret, and I honor that care. Yet hear me clearly now, because following me has never meant seeing the whole road at once. It has always meant walking close enough to hear my voice with each step. You are not stepping into emptiness, you are stepping into companionship, and companionship changes how fear feels. I know you worry that the first step will expose you, that moving will make your uncertainty visible, and that stillness has felt safer than risk, and I understand that instinct. Yet my child, safety is not found in remaining still when fear rules. It is found in staying near to me when you move. When you take the step in front of you, I meet you there, not after you prove yourself, not after you succeed, but as you move. You do not need to be brave all at once. You only need enough trust for the next small act of obedience. Courage grows as you walk, not before you begin. I see how you imagine the future and worry about sustaining momentum, about whether you will have the strength to keep going once you start. And I want you to hear me now, because I do not ask you to carry tomorrow's strength today. My child, I will give you what you need when you need it. Grace is not stockpiled, it is supplied. Each step comes with its own provision, its own clarity, and its own peace. You are not responsible for finishing the journey in this moment. You are responsible for being present to the step I place before you. I know you fear that moving might close doors, that choosing one direction might cost you something precious. And I understand how finality feels frightening when clarity is partial. Yet hear me now, because I am not constrained by closed doors. My child, I can open what no one expects, restore what seems lost, and redirect with gentleness when needed. Your willingness to follow me keeps your future open, not narrow. Even if a path looks uncertain at first, walking with me ensures that nothing is wasted, not effort, not hope, not even missteps, because I redeem what you entrust to me. I see how comparison tries to rush you, how watching others move confidently makes you doubt your pace, and I want you to release that pressure now. My child, I lead you personally. Your steps are shaped to your story, your calling, and your capacity. You are not late because you move carefully, and you are not behind because your clarity unfolds slowly. Following me is not a race, it is a relationship. Stay close and let your pace be guided by peace rather than by noise. I know you wonder how you will recognize that you are on the right path, how you will know that this step truly aligns with me, and I want you to hear this truth now. My guidance carries peace, even when circumstances remain challenging. Peace does not mean ease, it means steadiness. As you walk, notice what draws you toward trust rather than fear, humility rather than pride, love rather than urgency. These are signs of alignment. And when uncertainty returns, as it sometimes will, return to me, because guidance is ongoing, not a single moment. I see how taking the first step awakens old doubts, reminding you of times when movement led to disappointment, and I understand why memory tries to protect you by warning you. Yet hear me now, because the past does not get to define the present. My child, I am doing a new work in you, and this step is not a repetition of old failures. It is a continuation of growth. You are wiser now, gentler with yourself, and more attuned to my presence. Trust that I am not leading you back into harm, but forward into maturity. I know you want assurance that I will not leave you once you move, that you will not be abandoned to manage outcomes alone. And I want you to hear me clearly now, because I will walk with you. I am with you when decisions feel right and when they feel hard. I am with you when confidence rises and when it wavers. I am with you in progress and in pause. You do not step forward to earn my presence. You step forward because my presence goes with you. So take the first step now, not because you feel ready, but because you trust me enough to move with what you have. Let your hands remain open, your heart attentive, and your pace unhurried. When the path curves, I will guide you. When the way narrows, I will steady you. When fear whispers, I will remind you who walks beside you. My beloved child, follow me. And as you do, you will discover that direction grows clearer, peace grows deeper, and trust grows stronger with every step we take together. If this devotional helped you find courage to move forward, brought peace to your uncertainty, or reminded you that you are not walking alone, subscribe to this channel and stay close, because I will continue to meet you here, guide you gently, and walk with you into what comes next.